They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
You know, something we talk about a lot on this show, but a lot of people constantly have questions about is we always talk about dirting and doing dirt. Trey, how long have you been dirting? And also, what is dirt for the people out there that don't know?
Lord, I don't even know how long I've been dirting. Long time. I'm an old dirt head. But that's the dirting is taking kratom, also known as speciosa. And we've talked about it on here before. I mean, I'm a huge advocate. I've made fucking liberal redneck videos about it and whatnot before.
You made documentaries about it.
That's
Literally.
true. Well, I've been in documentaries about it, but yes,
Let's make it one.
That is true, and kratom is it's an all-natural herb botanically related to the coffee plant that's native to Southeast Asia, and it's been used for centuries over there to help energize your mind and relax your body. And I would just say that it definitely works, and it's super duper hits. It's basically like my coffee. The way that other white people be messing with coffee, that's dirt for me. And I've been doing it for a long time, and it's had nothing but positive effects on my life. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, same. I've actually, to me, it's a long time coming for us actually partnering up with an actual kratom company, because it's something that we've been talking about and advocating for years. And I use it. It's coffee is still my coffee, but kratom and coffee together I find to be a perfect combination.
That sounds like Andy. You know, I do it. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it from time to time. But Andy really kind of has used it. And look, I don't know what we're supposed to say, and this ain't FDA approved, but it has improved her life, her mental health. You know, she swears by it beyond just like, oh, it makes me in a good mood. Like, she swears by it as like something that's kind of made her regular mentally and made her feel better overall. And that makes my life easier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not certain that we're supposed to say this as a matter of fact, but I can just tell you anecdotally in my life. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there that like this is a personal thing for me, but like it really helps the whole not doing other stuff that's bad for you part of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's like
Definitely.
a kind of legal way that I can say what everybody knows what I'm trying to say is that like because of kratom, I don't really find that I need to do other things that otherwise might not be great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So if you're intimidated or anything by kratom, you ought not be, because what you can do, you can get the capsules. Corey's a capsule man.
I am.
They're very easy to use. They're just, little capsules with kratom inside of them. You can take those. The kratom comes in multiple different strains. There's green, there's white, there's red. Many people start with green. That's probably the most popular. So I would recommend that. And if you're down to try this out, then you can holler at Superleaf. Get superleaf.com.
Yep.
Get superleaf.com/WellRED. They got 100% satisfaction or your money back guaranteed. Also, they've recently made a change over there, and now this code can be used again and again for people in the audience that have used it before. So
look at there.
You can use it as many times as you want to. So it's time for you to try kratom now and get 20% off. You go to getsuperleaf.com/WellRED and get 20% off with the promo code WellRED. That's getsuperleaf.com/WellRED. Use the promo code WellRED for 20% off. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
We sure do. Appreciate you. Getsuperleaf.com.
If we use that code, is that insider trading?
I think so. And that hits for me.
Yeah.
I want to I would love to. I don't want to get in trouble for insider trading, but I would love to be at the level in my life where people suspected that maybe I was insider trading. You know what I mean? I would love to be accused of insider trading because like that implies.
I bet you do some insider horse trading at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm certain that I have done some sort of like low level white crime that I don't know about. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I hope no CPAs are listening or whatever, but like, there's no doubt in my mind that I've accidentally claimed something on my taxes I shouldn't have or should have done one. And you know what I mean?
We talked about this the other day. Me and Trey, you 100% have committed tax fraud.
Yeah, but Well,
I hope this shit doesn't go viral because you're fucking right. I haven't meant to, which I think is important.
It's huge. It's huge.
Joe Zimmerman had a great bit one time about, I'm going to butcher it, but the premise was like, it's so wild how important taxes are when like the government goes, hey, you owe us money. And you're like, okay, how much money do I owe you? And they're like, you guess. You know what I mean? like it's way too important for it to be the way that it fucking is, especially with dipshits like me. It's almost like they want you to do it wrong. You know what I mean?
It's also that they know how much you owe them. I guess you file your taxes because you may have write-offs that they wouldn't know about.
Yeah, right.
But other than that, like,
just tell me.
They
give me a
got
bill.
a list.
Send me a bill. Right. Send me a bill and then I'll go, okay, but I bought a computer, so maybe we'll subtract that. But like send me the fucking list. I don't ever know. Like at the end of the year, it's always like, we think it's this. And I'm like, fuck, I hope it is. Cause goddamn, they took Wesley Snipes in. I know I don't stand a chance.
He just didn't pay him. Now you can't, Valley. There's not, you know what I'm saying?
I've
There's
always
not like
heard
a good defense to,
Yeah.
I just didn't do it.
I've always heard like Jim Ross used to always talk about, because he was the head of talent relations for WWE for a while, and he used to tell his talent, because like wrestlers constantly would just not pay their taxes, and he would always tell them, he's like, guys, listen, at least file, just file. Like if it, like even if you're not going to pay it right now, but if you're going to get just fucking, if you file, they won't be nearly as mad at you, and it's something that you can sort of plead ignorant on. But like if you just don't file, your ass is gone. Like it's over.
Hold on. We're talking about JR.
Yeah.
JR, while he was being JR,
Yeah.
he also was
the
president of talent relations.
Nobody there does one thing. Yeah, for sure.
I never knew that. So he wasn't just like the voice of the WWE or whatever. He also was having to like be kind of HR for the fucking wrestlers.
For sure. That
has blown my mind.
Dude, it blows my mind too. Like there's a lot of those motherfuckers that like that's the case. Like you think they're just what's Drew laughing at?
The idea of HR being a guy named JR is so fucking on the nose for wrestling.
But yeah,
it's like, hey, we got HR. No, we got JR.
Yeah. Junior resources. But yeah, it's but no, yeah, he was the head of talent. Like he was also the one in charge of which means that he's the one in charge of payroll and shit. So like he would be announcing like all the dude, he was announcing all these pay-per-views, and like, dude, to hear him tell it, like it's kind of crazy. I don't know how their structure is now, but back then you would have like a pay-per-view, right? And so like however much money the company made on the house and however much money they made on the pay-per-view, the talent got 33% of that. Right now, how that 33% was divvied up amongst the talent was absolutely at the discretion of JR and Vince and like all those dudes. So like it wasn't like you were on this show and your fee is this. It was like, no, everybody made this, but we thought you hit the hardest, so you get this. And you didn't really hit that hard, so you get this. And like he was constantly Yeah, bro. Yeah,
that is insane to me too. I can't believe that didn't. I've just figured, especially like most prominent wrestlers, the ones that hit.
There's definitely there was some dudes that had
like contracts that stipulated exactly the amount that they get.
There was guys with downside guarantees who, no matter what, were getting paid a certain amount a year, but a lot of these were like bonuses and stuff like that. But some of them dudes absolutely didn't. Like the downside guarantees, I want to say started during the NWO time. Like that was when everything kind of like changed. Like, you know, Hogan going to WCW and a lot of these dudes are like, all right, if I'm going to stay here, I'm going to have to get like an actual salary. Because used to there was like no salary whatsoever. Like it was just like, look, man, if you hurt your leg and you miss wrestling, we don't give a fuck who you are. Like you're not getting paid this week, you know?
Corey, can you tell us why there's been why there's not been more murder in wrestling? Like, because that's been a fair amount. Good recipe for somebody getting murdered. Just somebody feels like they have a good pay-per-view, and then Vince and JR don't agree, and like
it was definitely been the cause of people getting their ass whipped, like JR getting punched included, and there's definitely been instances where dudes walked because of that. But like I think what it is really is that like that was the culture that it always was for these dudes. Like when they came up through the territories, they were always like, yeah, sometimes you get paid $20. And it was just very much especially in WWE at that time, it was a don't bite the hand that feeds situation, because they were the fucking only game in town. They were like, okay, cool. You think you deserve more? Fucking great. Go wrestle in Toledo in their circuit. You know what I mean? We're New York, buddy. Who gives a fuck? This is all me pulling this directly out of my ass, but like there definitely was some ass whooping. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
Wrestlers.
so many of them
Wild.
dudes, like Bruce Pritchard, when he was like the head writer, he was also doing talent relations and doing all sorts of other shit. Like all of them wear so many hats at all times. It's pretty fucking wild.
What was the King that would Jerry the King Lawler like when he was sitting beside JR? What else was he doing? Do you know?
I'm fairly certain that he was primarily.
Whores.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure that he was definitely primarily just the voice because he was also doing some indie wrestling too at the time. He, as I've heard him say many times, he still to this day considers himself primarily a wrestler first. Like he still works, dude. I've seen him. Like 2 years ago. I saw him fucking pile drive Mance Warner through a goddamn table in Chicago. It was rad as shit. I was wearing his crown while he did it because he left it on the table. I don't think I should have told that, but yeah. But yeah, man, it's a wild, that shit's a wild industry, man. There's a lot of like so many parallels between starting out in comedy and starting out in wrestling, like, you know, the open mics and the bringer shows and stuff
Well,
like
that's what
that.
I was going to say is like we took abuse. I mean, I remember.
Yeah, but
Not like that.
I mean,
No,
we
not
wouldn't
like
get
that.
thrown through tables and shit.
Right.
No, I meant
Like-
people treating you like business practices
Yes.
that are unacceptable anywhere.
The
else.
business
Sure.
practices are very similar because it's like,
Yeah.
again, in almost every situation for a young comedian, the club owner in our case or the territory runner in the wrestling case knows that this young comic or this young wrestler needs them more than they need the young comic. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like there are enough people that will easily fill these people's shoes. And like, that's just something that like, you know, that's an endless cycle that feeds into itself that we unknowingly or knowingly or whatever fed into by going like, yeah, should I be doing this bringer show and only getting paid $5 if I bring 50 people? Absolutely not. But I want to fucking get on stage and this is the only way they'll let me. So I'm going to give into it. And then yada, yada, yada. It keeps on going. Don't hit.
So I don't want to put either one of y'all on the spot, but I guess I'm going to. I know that this weekend when we were in Florida, both of y'all said you had stuff you wanted to tell on here. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wanted to hear Drew's stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people probably saw me post. I was at the Knoxville airport and it was like storming outside, and in the video it looks like a hurricane.
Mhm.
It's not, but like there's like gallons of water hitting the window, and my flight kept getting delayed, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I could stay here and I might make my flight and might make my connection, or let me go on the internet and figure this out. I can go to Nashville and get a Southwest flight for $90, but to Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is the wrong fort. There's too many forts in Florida. I said it on stage. Y'all don't need this many forts anymore. You got Florida men. You don't need forts. Just have a fucking ICP conference. But I went to Fort Lauderdale. That's 2 hours from the show. I prepay for gas. I get in the car. I look. I'm going to get there at 6 on the nose. I take off driving across Alligator Alley, I think they call it. I'm doing 97.
What is Alligator Alley? Just the highway there?
It is a I-75. I think that's what they call it, as it crosses a lot of Indian land and a lot of national preserves. It's swamp. There's nothing. I'm doing 97. I know because I have the cruise control set. I got passed by 7 people in an hour while I was doing 97. Everything from a Lamborghini down to a fucking rice burner or whatever. It's the most Florida shit I've ever seen. People are weaving in and out of traffic. But the part that I didn't tell you about, I told Trey about it, Corey, is I prepaid for gas and still almost ran out of gas because the car wasn't full. I didn't realize
and there's just
that
no
till
gas
I left.
stations.
I saw a sign. I swear to God, I saw it. It said, next gas station, 30 miles.
Mhm.
I had a little over an eighth of a tank. I was like, 30 miles in this Kia hybrid, I could do that on a pint. 30 miles ain't shit. I
Right.
never saw the gas station. I'm doing 90, so I'm starting to get nervous. According to the computer, I ran out of gas 8 miles before I got to a gas station. So that day started at 6 a.m. going to the Knoxville airport, then making Andy drive me to Nashville, flying to the wrong airport, then driving 3 hours across Florida. And I was just laughing at the idea that all that, and I still almost missed that show because I almost ran out of gas. It died in the gas station parking lot like a
Damn.
fucking movie.
Yeah.
I did 7 miles with the computer saying that I had, it has the range.
Yeah.
Like you run out of gas in this many miles. It flatlined 7 miles away from the gas station.
This is something I've been thinking about a lot, actually, because a couple weeks ago I was coming back from Alabama and I had 58 miles until empty on my car showed that 58 miles till empty. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm fine right now, but I'll definitely stop at the next gas station. No problem. Well, according just to that, there wasn't a gas station for another 50 miles. Like I never saw a sign that said there's not, but there wasn't. There was one exit where there was a gas station, but the gas station was closed, and it wasn't one of them situations where like, yeah, we're closed, but the gas pump still works if you have a credit card. Like most of them are and fucking should be. And like it just like entered my mind at that moment. Like I don't know who to even talk to about this, but like that ought not be legal. Like it ought not be. Like just how the Eisenhower interstate system is set up that every mile has to be straight just in case of a war, you can land a fucking plane on it. It ought not be 60 plus miles or 30 plus miles without a gas station that at least, if not operated by a human being, is accessible to a son of a bitch with a goddamn credit card, because I about ran the fuck out of gas with no one to call, no one to nothing, no, I don't know what the fuck I'd have done. So that's fucking bullshit. And if I ever get to be president, we're gonna put an end to this shit.
All right, we'll put in the bill. The big thing with the bills and the policies, you just add stuff to them. You keep adding your own shit. I don't know why. Maybe it's by choice, but it seems like it's not. You know how Indians got casinos and they're allowed to have them?
Yes, I do.
They ought to be allowed to have gas stations without the regular gas taxes and bullshit that Exxon has to pay because they're killing our environment.
Do the other Indians not have that?
Well, I'm sure they have gas stations on reservations, but the prices are probably exactly the same.
Different. Yes, yes.
He means like two Shars Indians.
Yeah, and I wasn't being an asshole.
They've already got all the gas stations, I believe is what Corey was alluding
to. We gave the gas stations to the wrong Indians.
Yeah, but like there is some sort of tax thing. I think I could be wrong. We need
so expensive partially because of taxes. Now the taxes in theory go to fight environmental issues and stuff. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but I'm not saying I'm against it. What I'm saying is Indians ought to have their own gas wells. They ought to be able to sell gas to people at whatever price they want and rake that money in like Cassini money. Put that in your bill too.
Gas ought to be free
on the reservation for Indians, and they can charge the white man whatever. They want when he failed to check his rental car.
I'm for that. I agree with all that. Yeah.
I mean, if somebody could be making money having a gas station in that place where you couldn't find a gas station, Joe, then there would be a gas station there. So
I know there
would have to be like
government gas. That's what I mean.
Stations.
There should be that. And I'm not trying to be funny right now, but like that's true. There ought to be at least some federally subsidized pumps that like even charge whatever the fuck. I don't know, but like in an emergency situation, like it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I'm in goddamn rural Alabama. That is not where you want to run out of fucking gas. I mean, granted, I'm a white guy. It was fine.
And Trey, my drive was an hour 15 or an hour and a half, maybe. Somebody could have made money there. It has to do with the land. And I get that. And if the Indians don't want a gas station, then no. But they ought to let them.
Well, maybe where you're at, you're talking about it like a preserve or something. They can't.
A preserve?
It's half reservation, half preserve.
And I'm.
Are you saying preserve or reserve?
Both. It's a reservation and then a national wildlife
nature preserve.
Preserve. Okay. I've never really heard that.
Like the Everglades, the swamps and shit down there.
Right.
Like you can't just throw gas stations all over the goddamn swamp and don't hit for the lizards. Like, I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
And by lizards, I mean alligators.
Yeah, I know.
Not the Jews.
Yeah, right. Yes, right. The actual lizards who live in Florida.
That's a callback to us learning that lizard people's racist. Everybody, it's not me trying to be racist.
That was a callback from 47 episodes.
But also, I just think that. But there's definitely big stretches of places in this country where there ain't no way,
and there won't be,
and it's just because it's barren. Right. And I don't know that I agree with you that there ought to be. Like, just you don't do that. Like, don't
People make
drive out in
mistakes.
the middle of goddamn nowhere at 3 a.m. if you ain't got no gas. Like,
I had
what?
58 miles left is what I'm
Fucking
saying.
dad.
I had 58 miles left. That doesn't when you have 58 miles left, you think to yourself, I can get to the next one. And then there's not a next one. Maybe there was a fucking sign that said, hey, dumbass, you might want to get gas here. But like,
Dude,
But how are
You know
we
what my
supposed to?
theory is
How
now
are we
that you're
supposed to
saying
know
that? I
where
think
all
somebody-
to put these little free gas pumps at?
put them everywhere. There's 50 miles from. There has to be a gas station
Do you
every
know
50
how many
miles.
of those there's going to be?
Yeah,
Think
yes, I
about
do.
the goddamn Dakotas and the Montanas
Good.
and all
They need
that
it more than
shit, all the
anybody.
different open
And I
space like
fucking
that.
care about those people, and you don't. They need it more than anybody does.
No, they
Nah.
don't. There's nobody out there.
And
They're
they
fucking
got
riding
gas in
horses
the back
and
of their
shit.
truck.
I guarantee
and
y'all
stuff.
those people are pretty much fine with the state of their gas station economy
All right.
in those areas.
Message us.
I think Trey's right about those people being fine.
Fuck
I also
you
think,
and fuck him.
I think we're also running into an environmental problem with what you're suggesting.
I know.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. Well, we should have hybrid cars. Really, is what
Yeah.
it should be.
We should have a
That's
train.
really- That's really what it should be. But like, we ain't
That's
ever gonna.
fine.
But nobody gonna do that. But they're
I was in a hybrid and about ran out. And you know what I'm realizing? I bet some Florida asshole chiseled off the one. I bet that sign says next gas station, 130 miles, and somebody chiseled off the one, which is a hell of a joke.
That is a pretty good joke. And we'll be right
You
back
think you
after
drove-
this.
Yeah.
He froze. Did he
No, I
freeze
didn't.
for you?
No, I didn't. I did that on purpose.
You drove
Oh, shit.
130 miles without hitting the gas station? When the
Yeah,
sign
it
said
was
30?
over 100 because I was doing 97 at least at first, and it took me an hour and a half to get to it.
Yeah. Well, that's wild. So what was your thing, Joe?
I wanted to talk a little bit about breaking my sobriety.
All right.
And how utterly not worth it was, which is good. I had talked before about how I really enjoy going for like 4 months stretches of being sober and then getting like super fucking hammered because I call that a reset. You may remember. I'm like, sometimes you got to reset. You got to get drunk just to remind yourself that being hungover ain't worth it. And like every single time I've done it, that has been the case. But this has been the first time that like it didn't even take me being super hammered in order for that to happen. And so I think that like this is actually the start of a new lifestyle instead of where the other one was like me sort of pissing against the wind. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, okay, I think I have turned a corner because the other day is my birthday. Now, I wasn't going to just drink because it was my birthday. The reason that I got so antsy and was like, fuck, I'm going to drink is because partially of what Drew was just talking about here, he thought he might be late to the show. You
I
also,
was.
right. But like so late that I was going to have to like possibly do the whole show myself. For a second, there was a possibility that I might have to do 90 minutes, which is something I've done before, but something I ain't done in a while. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, dude, you can do this. But by God, you're going to need to have a couple beers in order to do it. And I already kind of put my head in that zone of like, all right, dude, you're drinking tonight because you got to give the audience something and Trey and Drew aren't going to be there and you're going to have to call an audible. So I kind of already put myself in that mindset, even to the point to where when it became clear to me that that wasn't going to happen, I was already like, fuck it, I'm having a beer, which is so Raven because my whole goal was to make it to this coming weekend. And I made it like 4, almost 5 months and literally couldn't just get the home stretch. Like I broke a week before my original goal, which is very me in my opinion. But
I think that's like when an NFL team loses and a lot of them are like, yeah, it's kind of a relief.
It's a
Now
good
we don't
loss.
have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good, that's true. It's a good
All
loss.
we want's a Super Bowl. We didn't
Right.
care about the record.
Right. Get it out of the way. But usually when I've done these resets, I have gotten like torn down, absolutely knee crawling, 5 o'clock in the morning drunk, and then went like, yeah, that of course wasn't worth it. I'm not doing that again. But this time, man, it was completely different because I ain't gonna lie. The first beer, amazing. Like, holy God, it was fucking awesome. The second beer, slightly better than the first beer. It really set the first beer off. Third beer, I'm not kidding. As I started in on the third beer, I immediately went, damn, I don't like this anymore. Like it was already over. You know what I mean? And then like we had a good time. We did some shots for my birthday, but I woke up the next day going, I could have been sober and had just as much fun with those guys. And I'm happy. That makes me like really happy. I know it doesn't hit for Trey, but I think I've turned the corner.
No, that's fine.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
It don't hit for you. No, it don't.
It hits. Yes, it does.
No, it don't. You want me to eat
Because I
corn
don't
dogs
give a
and
shit
drink
about
Jack
any of
Daniels.
that. I don't
Yes,
care
you
about
do.
any of that anymore either. Like I don't.
He's
like,
let it
You
go.
want me to do it?
You've caused us all
No,
to grow,
no.
Joe.
No, I don't. Because if you're doing it, you're going to be trying to get me to do it the way
No,
I
I
always
wouldn't.
do.
I
with
don't do
you,
that.
and
I don't do that to
gonna
you.
want to do it. You literally Saturday night, you were like,
Nope.
"Take a shot. Come on, take a shot. It's my birthday. Take a shot." And I was like, "I don't want a fucking shot."
But then when you said you didn't, I said, okay, cool.
No, I still ended up taking a goddamn shot.
That's on you.
One of them. The second one, anyway. So I'm just saying that's a good example. Like I don't have no interest in doing none of that shit anymore either.
It's
So
kind of a
I'm
bummer
totally-
though, isn't it?
Me and Trey tried to both simultaneously or back to back. Pull the move. He tried to put something on my tab, but I'd already closed out.
Mhm.
And then I tried to put something on Forrester, and she just brought me a shot of Old Forester.
Yeah.
She just goes, Forrester? And I go, yeah. And then she just came back with whiskey.
Yeah, it was fine. I had fun while we were at the bar watching that band, but
Shout out to the Dead Ataris, a very good Florida bar band.
they were awesome. I thought they were fucking great. But if I had just been high, I would have also enjoyed them. But like, is there a part of you that like you kind of feel like I'm more happy, I think, than sad because it's like, oh great, I've grown up to where I can enjoy my life without being hungover. It's kind of like a cheat code. But are you kind of sad because it's like, turn the page a little bit?
No, because I feel like so.
I just feel like I'm
so everybody
boring
knows-
now.
Just so everybody knows, I made it to the show also. We never even mentioned the fact that I also was running late because it was storming all over the South. So my flight got delayed in Atlanta. So me and Drew were both running late to the show, which is why.
Yeah,
Corey
by the
thought he was
way-
gonna do it himself.
By the way,
But we both
as
made
hollow as this is, like whatever our fucking uppity version of thoughts and prayers are with our friends in Kentucky and everywhere across the South right now, because it's been very, very devastating. And
we'll go a little one better than that. Let's say it this way: if you're there on the ground and you're doing work, or the people who are getting food to those folks, trying to out there to feed the people who are cutting down trees and getting things back to normal, let us know who they are. We'll give them a platform and give them some money.
for sure, yeah, I know our buddy Matt Daly has reached out, and maybe we can have him on next week or something. But yeah, it's really, really, really rough, and it's one of those. It's one of them things that actually ought be and maybe is bipartisan. Like that, this shouldn't be controversial. You know what I mean? Usually, I feel like when something terrible happens, there's some sort of angle. But in this one, it's just like, no, man, fucking weather. Well, I guess global warming, huh? There's that.
It's
But
definitely global warming.
You're right. But either way, fucking all jokes aside,
life.
yeah, all jokes aside, like if you're out there and you're suffering, get at us, and like I said, we'll like Drew said, we'll give you a platform and figure out how we can help.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what to add to that. I also feel weird going back to talking about drinking beer now.
That's-
but
I mean,
guess
fine.
Guess I will.
Yeah.
So anyway, we made it in time and it ended up being fine. But that same reason, but in reverse, was the first time that I drank anything after we stopped drinking a few weeks ago. Was we had a show in Seattle and Corey was possibly not going to make it. And I was stressing out about how to handle that situation. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to drink some beers.
And it was
because-
Raven beer.
yeah,
It was.
yeah, that was the brand. It was something like that. And then, what happened was, I had a really, really, really good time at that show, and the show went really well. And then
Yeah.
I was like, imagine that, So but what I have found used to for me, if I drink at a show, first of all, I never go on stage drunk. When I say drink at a show, I mean like I have a couple of
buzz.
drinks before I go on stage just to sort of loosen up a little bit. That's all we're talking about. But used to, then after the show was over, we go to a bar that was nearby, or even just a hotel, sundry if they got booze there or whatever. And I would keep drinking, is what I'm saying. and stay up drinking and all that. And now I feel like death the next day and then fucking whatever. But like, I don't do that anymore. And it's not hard for me to not do that. I would have to force myself to do that, in fact. And I have no desire to. So like, I'm kind of just, I'm good with my current relationship with alcohol. I mean, like I can have a couple of beers and get the sort of like loosening up benefits of it. And then I can stop and drink more water and stay up a few more hours after that. And then the next morning I'll feel fine. And so like, when I'm not on the road or if I'm just at home or whatever, I don't ever drink and I won't ever drink. So like, I'm just kind of not worried about any of it. I'm just going to do that, I think, and it'll be fine. I don't have to make it a thing. I don't like making it a thing because I don't feel like I'm not a fucking alcoholic, and I'm not genuinely.
I know, me either.
And so I don't like turning it into a thing. Like,
I get it. It's not the booze. It's let me rephrase it. There are certain things in my life that I would not have experienced were it not for alcohol and drinking it in excess. And a lot of those things were super fucking fun. And I've met a lot of super cool people because of those experiences. Is there any part of you that is maybe a little bit not nervous, but like is kind of bummed out that like, yeah, you know, that part of it's over. Like the whole, like having the great story that otherwise wouldn't have happened. That's what I'm worried about because, yeah, I'm going to feel better, but what exactly am I going to be reporting on? I'm worried that I'm getting boring.
Got FOMO.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
should have hung out, man.
Being boring hits for me. I fucking love being boring.
It's true. He does.
I really do.
I don't really have much though.
I have no
and
interest
I'll just do
in ever
doing
anything.
Okay,
that
but
other
like
people care about hearing about.
That's fair. But like you're
nobody going nowhere. Like I'm
gonna
do about none of that.
I'm gonna do Molly and mushrooms, and also like I'm probably gonna have a kid next year. I'm just gonna be home with the kid. Like, I guess I think you're just talking about the sadness of youth.
It's not even the sadness. I'm worried that like, look at me in this jacket. Like this.
Oh,
like,
you have to keep drinking. Like everyone listening right now on this podcast and at home is like, yeah, dude, we're just humoring you. This is really beautiful. We love you, but like, a few more months, yeah, man. It's like, what are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Be a fucking football coach? No,
I know.
Drink.
Like
you're the
Trey. Yeah, right. Like Trey
is chief hitting officer.
Yeah, I know. Like Trey is intellectual and nobody expects him to, you know, wake up with his dick in a pumpkin or whatever it is they expect out of me. But like with me,
we're all just humoring you on your white woman journey. That you're on your Eat, Pray, Love right now, and we support you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to go back to drinking.
It's in some way. Or
get a boat.
Or getting a boat would hit. Or like or find a different relationship. Yeah, that's true. Or find a different relationship to weed. I'm in a good place with weed right now. I don't know where y'all are because we all have our cycles, you know, of like sometimes.
Man, if you become a weed comic.
No, I'm not. I will never do that. I'm not.
It could work.
No, it couldn't. I don't like that. I'm not. I don't mean like use weed and only talk about weed. I mean, but I could get fucked up on weed and have cool experiences because of that. But I don't want to be. Not that
you
there's
quit drinking and we've been talking about it for 6 fucking months. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I am an alcoholic. I do bring it up a lot.
Well, speaking of, this is related to that, and I'll hit for you guys. Corey, can you blow me up? Can you put me on the main thing?
Yeah.
So y'all probably won't notice this, and a lot of it is kind of that my beard is a little crooked. Wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have talked about my Taco Bell's palsy before.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think we've explained what it is, but go on.
So it's a sleep-related situation.
Also, AKA slaughtism.
I have slaughtism, and it's a stress thing. It's the muscles in my face. It's nerve damage. I mean, it is Bell's palsy. It's a mild version of it. I drool a little bit when it happens, when it gets worse. Well, we were in Florida. We were drinking. I didn't get a lot of sleep because of that. And then last night was Andy's birthday. I didn't drink or anything, but I was out with her, and then her and her friends kept me up till 4 a.m.
That's the fucking worst.
Do you see how crooked my face is?
Yeah.
Like the beard's kind of hiding, but it's like droopy.
Yeah, I was going to comment, but I thought it would be
offensive. It's drawing
up
on this side. It's like starting to...
You look good, though. Like, you look like it's not full Picasso. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just look a little off. Like, if you didn't know me very well, you wouldn't notice. But I just thought that would hit for you guys that 5 days out from filming, the Taco Bell's palsy is back.
Yeah, but a crooked grin's a real thing, and that's kind of what you look like. You've got like you're not full Corso or nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the only thing that looks weird is the eyes. If I don't really make sure, one of them looks real droopy.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm speaking of which, yeah, guys, if you don't remember us talking about it for the past ever, we are recording, filming things at Zany's this weekend. Come see us. I think there's still tickets for the Thursday show, the early Friday show or something. And
I think it's just Friday late, cuz I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, go to WellRED
No,
Comedy.
they released tickets because we didn't need as many comps as we thought.
Okay, well, it's down here at the bottom if you're on YouTube, wellredcomedy.com, WELLRED comedy.com for tickets. And that's going to be the end of this leg of the tour. I keep saying the end of the tour. That's not really true because, I mean, we go right back at it January 16th. And as most people that follow us know, this tour is kind of just in perpetuity. So we'll be back at it after a tiny break to hang out with our friends and family, which I'm certainly looking forward to. But, yeah, my head's still at Zany's right now, man. I'm super, super, super pumped. That's going to be, this is also going to be the first time at Zany's that we don't get totally, totally wrecked, but I think that's going to be good, too, because that's just, to me, that's extra hot chicken.
I'm getting wrecked Saturday.
I think I'm going to have a couple, but I don't know if I'll continue into the night because genuinely, I didn't really have fun the other night. I mean, I did.
This is a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. I haven't said anything about it, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, but up until this past weekend, you have said countless times to me about Saturday night in Nashville. About Saturday night in Nashville, you have said to me, like, dude, we're getting fucking tore down that night. It's going to be stupid. Like, fucking,
it probably still will be, by the way.
Waking up naked the next morning. We're going to be fucked up.
And, okay, fine. This is what you want.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. And I have not said anything about this, but I internally that whole time have been like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. Like, I'm gonna have a couple of drinks probably, but I don't want to get fucking obliterated.
But you had been drinking this whole time.
That just don't hit for me to do anymore. But I didn't say nothing to you about it.
Right.
But now that I was just like, yeah, okay. But now that you have, drank once in Florida or whatever, now you're like, yeah, that don't hit for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good, right?
Sweet. Good. Yes, it is. But I'm saying, I'm proving to you that what I said earlier is true about like, this is fine with me.
Okay.
I'd like to say a couple things.
Okay.
It don't serve my interest anymore.
First of all, I think y'all are not taking into account the relief, the pressure, the tension, all the things that's going to go into what's happening this weekend.
I think I'll jack off.
And then that first beer hits you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to plan on getting torn up.
Which
also, we're lighter weights.
Yeah.
We're lighter weights than we used to be. I'm not planning on drinking till 4 a.m. But what I fully expect to happen is for the beer to taste really good and me to not stop drinking until they stop. And in about 2 hours or 3, me to have consumed 8 beers and a shot of tequila.
Yeah. Also,
without planning it, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass out from exhaustion.
Also, historically, I think we've even talked about this before. The times I've gotten the drunkest were the times I swore to God I wasn't going to drink much. And the times that I've really not done shit is the times I was like, we're fucking doing keg stands, bro. And then I end up having like 4 and I get diarrhea and then I go home.
So part of my whole new deal with drinking, and I'm to just sort of counter what Drew was just saying, like one thing I have noticed, maybe you don't or haven't, Drew, is that like
it hurts.
Now before I'm done, like as I'm doing it, I get a little bit of the way into it, and I'm like, oh, this ain't hitting for me.
Yeah,
and I like want to stop. Like I don't see it creeping up on me like it used to before, because before it's like it's hitting for me and you have to make yourself stop or else you get in trouble, and you don't do that, and so next thing you know you're hammered. But now it typically I reach a point pretty early on where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of done with this, and I want to stop, and I don't think that'll be any different Saturday night, but we'll see.
I totally feel that, but I do think it'll be different because
we'll also be around friends.
Just like it'll be around friends. It'll be a lot of tension energy followed by relief energy. And I just think that thing you're talking about will come a little later.
I'm definitely not
Yeah.
going to like be mad at myself if I do get a little too drunk after, especially that. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, man, like honestly, after 3 beers and like maybe 1 shot the other night, which dude, for me, that used to be like Sunday morning shit or like just getting going shit. My fucking belly was so sour, man. I was like, oh God, this ain't it. Also, I'm sure everybody's gonna love hearing about this. First time I've had diarrhea in like 5 months. Which I go, oh my God, this is how it used to be all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fucking go back to this. My body was like in shock, dude. I literally shit for almost 6 hours straight. I mean, like, shit, got off the toilet, got to the bed, and went, oh no, walk back, shit, repeat for 6 hours straight. That ain't it.
Have we discussed what you're wearing?
I don't think so.
Is that a jacket?
Yeah, it's a Jimmy Hart jacket, Mouth of the South.
I think the green's fucking with my head. Can you open it, or do you have nothing on under it?
Yeah, I can open it.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah, it
looks like a life jacket, but with sleeves.
Because the green and the green screen was doing a little no, it's a Jimmy Hart chalk line jacket. You know, I have a bunch of these wrestling gimmick jackets, sort of my thing. Now that I'm not drinking, I've got to be extra loud in my attire, I think, is the move I'm making.
It looks like
you think people respect me? No.
What people?
Not the people I want to, I guarantee you that.
You gotta understand, a lot of people don't respect Trey,
Right.
you know, because he's a comedian. So if you put that jacket on, you're not helping.
Yeah, right. I love this jacket though. It's real sweet. Fucking got a big old picture of Jimmy Hart on the back. I can't turn around.
It's also funny. I mean, I know, you were just hitting, but like the idea that somebody who wears that jacket and does the other things that you do would ever even care that other people respect it. You know, like you wouldn't look at that guy and think that guy would be like, do you think people respect me?
Right.
I know, it's so funny. I waffle between the two. Like sometimes like I don't give a
we know you
fuck.
waffle in that jacket.
I don't give a fuck. And then sometimes just sitting there staring at myself wearing a robe, like, do you think people love me?
So
love and respect are very different.
Do you ever?
That's true.
Are you ever like out and about or something, and you like catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror? And you're wearing one of these things,
pretty rough.
and you're like, what is that?
Yeah,
well,
and then it's so funny because like it's either I have no middle ground, and y'all both know this. It is either I catch a glimpse of myself and I go, "What sort of clown car come to life bullshit are you?" And then sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself and go, "Son, you hit so hard. Like you like no one on earth has the goddamn confidence to be who you are and pull off the things that you wear. It is just absolutely fucking unbelievable. You're going places." And then then like the next mirror I see, it'll be the complete opposite. So I don't know, man.
Those places are rehab.
I'm a pretty I'm a pretty manic depressive type feller. You know what I mean?
Let me ask this related to that. Let's get back to this respect question. I would assume that love means more to you.
No.
Am I wrong?
No, I don't give a fuck. Like the people, like my mama and all them, they're always going to love me.
I don't mean familial love. I know you don't care about your family.
No. I know what what I meant was that like the people who it's important to me, if they love me, already do.
Yeah. Love might be the wrong word. I would think that if somebody said Corey Forster is the funniest person I follow, and I think he's great, and then somebody followed it up, and they go, well, if somebody followed it up and they go, do you respect him as a person? And they went, yeah. Like, would the bother you?
You said as a person though. But the other stuff implied that they respect me as a performer. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If they didn't like me, they wouldn't respect. Like you're not a fan of someone if you don't respect what it is that they do. That's the very nature of like respect, right? Like you would like.
I think so. Sure.
Every band that I like the band, I'm like, I respect them as a band. Now, as human beings, there's plenty of bands where I'm like, no, I mean, fuck them in real life. You know what I'm saying?
I guess what I'm getting at is I would assume with you that there's probably a lot of people who don't really know you would see you in that jacket, like, I don't know, lawyers, politicians or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, I don't respect that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody would go, well, what's this? Do you think it's funny? As long as they said yes, you wouldn't give a shit about
I wouldn't
the
give a
former.
shit. Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit. No.
I don't think I'm built that way.
Yeah.
I think to my detriment.
Like, because to me, like, if you respect me as a performer, then that's just as good. Like, I can't help the other part, and like, I would totally understand.
You can't help the cartoon jacket. Yeah,
it's what I do. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But like, that's also like the
that's
line.
on you, dude. If you don't like me dressing like an 8-year-old on acid, like, what am I supposed to do?
Also, much like the wrestlers who have inspired me as much in comedy as any comedians have, the line between who I am as a performer and who I am as a person is often blurred. You know what I mean? So like,
I think people just worry about you more than anything.
I think
when
that's
you say
probably
stuff
true.
Like that.
Trey,
Trey,
that's probably true.
What's your thoughts on this topic in general?
I have been sitting here for much.
He doesn't respect me. I know that he does not respect me.
Thinking to myself, should I wash my hair after this, or because it is hitting right now.
Yeah.
I gotta get on a plane tomorrow.
It won't because you like wearing hats on the plane.
Yeah, right. So it's like, so maybe I should, and that's where. So anyway, so what if somebody said that you hit, but they didn't respect you? Would that hit for me?
I guess like what means more to you, the idea that people respect like who you are as a person or a man.
How about this? Hold on,
or just
a second.
like the validation of like being known as a hidden comedian.
I want to hear Trey's answer. I want to hear Trey's answer right after we take a break. Okay, when we come back, right Trey, we want to know if people respect you.
All right, Trey, don't forget.
I think that, like, I guess I sort of agree with the bits and pieces I picked up from what y'all were saying.
The bits and pieces you picked up while you were disrespecting us?
Mm-hmm.
While I was thinking about my hair and stuff, yeah. Like, Corey, I think I agree with a lot of what he was saying, which is just like, what do you mean just people acknowledging, like, are you talking about people who were like, yeah, that guy, he's got a thing, and I guess it hits for people, but he fucking sucks.
Or just like, I mean, a lot of people don't respect what we do in general, right? Like, it's like,
I felt like it was about, like, that was really personal.
Well, I guess I mean more
no, it could. I mean, sure, but there's a million of them.
The way I would phrase it, Trey, what I'm asking you about is the guy or gal who's like, "Oh, that clown? Yeah, I guess he's good at being a clown.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's great. Yeah,
Trey.
I guess it would upset me because I feel like people don't think that about me, Drew. What are you
right.
talking about?
That's what
Corey,
I'm with
sure,
you, buddy.
People
I'm
think
like
that about
you.
Corey, but
I'm like
not
you.
me.
Right. Well, that's why I asked Corey the question. I envy Corey this part of his personality to a certain extent. It's like not important to him.
What's not important to me?
That people think anything positive about you other than that you're funny.
That's
seemingly.
well, no, that's okay. Okay, that's fair. That is definitely the most important thing and has been my whole life. I am starting to maybe shift a little bit. But like, as long as
He'll burn his jacket by the end of this podcast.
No, never. I do also now do things that aren't just stand-up related or just comedy related. As long as people are like, as long as people allow me to shift and do other things, that's fine too. But like, yeah, if someone is like, look, man, no matter what, I think you're funny. I respect you as a comedian. I'd be like, yeah, anything following that, I don't care what you say. That's awesome. Appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what about people who don't really respect comedy? I think you just don't care about those people.
Yeah, whatever. Like, it would depend on how, like, serious they were being about it, and they could say some things that would make me, like, really upset. But if it's just somebody that's like, yeah, I don't like comedy, whatever. But if somebody was like, oh, I don't respect you or any other comedian, I guess in that case, I'd be like, well, at least it's not personal. But, like, goddamn, how? Because I had a buddy one time who we stopped being buddies because of I didn't realize it. we were like really, really good friends, like really good, like first dude I ever smoked cocaine with. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you know, and so we were buddies and we hung out all the time and we dated the same girls and we were just always running the same circles. And like, it went from hanging out all the time to like, I just didn't hear from him ever. And then all of a sudden it's like, I haven't fucking talked to this guy in like 5 goddamn years. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I was doing a lot of comedy at the time, so I wasn't really seeing a lot of people. And one of my buddies came up and told me when I was like, they told me that they had gone to his wedding or something like that. And I was like, man, you know, I don't know what I did, but like we were like best of friends, and like he just stopped hanging out with me. And they go, yeah, we actually talked about that. And I was like, oh, is it like political or something? And they were like, no, he just said that he can't respect someone that makes their living telling jokes. Like literally, this is what this motherfucker said. Like, and before that, I was just I was doing, I guess this is when I went pro, you know what I mean? All of a sudden he was like, oh, never mind, I can't. But it literally was just, I don't respect this person because this is how they make their living.
Respected you less when you went pro. Now that's
when I went
wild.
pro. Yeah. And then, by the way, this was before our book and before we really, really started hitting. This motherfucker has since come up to me and congratulated me on everything, talking about how he always knew and he always told everybody, because he don't know that these people told me that he said that. You know what I'm saying? So like that is a real thing.
Oh, wait a minute.
But
you said this when you went pro.
When I started actually making a little bit of money, like I wasn't.
You were like touring full time, like road dogging it. That. You're talking about before
pre-hit
our shit started.
Yes.
But you were doing nothing else but comedy at the time. But our shit hadn't started yet.
Yeah,
dude,
okay.
I thought that was
guy
a
just
setup. I thought Trey was gonna be like, yeah, I didn't respect you then either, cuz.
No.
But like,
no,
dude,
no, just that guy. Like, obviously, it wasn't about just somebody who makes their living telling jokes. That obviously wasn't true. Now that you're like, you know, actually successful.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't feel that way anymore.
I think, right.
Bullshitting to your face, but why?
I think he's just bullshitting to my face.
Well,
I think you smoked all his cocaine and fucked his girlfriend.
We were never in the this time that he was praising me for all this. It was the first time we'd ever even really been around each other for a while. Like I think it was just one of those, like, he felt like he had to say something to me because we used to be boys. I fucked his aunt, and I just remembered that.
I knew it. I nailed it.
Oh my God.
You guys heard me say it. I think you smoked his cocaine and fucked his girl. You fucked his aunt, and then you told everybody you were a loser because he didn't want to say he fucked my aunt.
It just now occurred to me.
So instead of being like, he's not invited to my wedding because he fucked my aunt, he didn't want to say that. So he said, he's not invited to my wedding because I don't hang out with losers.
I totally fucked his aunt. Fuck.
Sure,
okay.
But there's absolutely a type of person.
Was his name Ronnie Van?
We'll pretend it is, yeah.
Corey fucked Ronnie Van's aunt.
There's absolutely a type of person who, like, they hear, you know, you're a comedian, and they're like, that ain't it. That dude from Money for Nothing. That ain't working. Fucking that, you know.
They also said the other thing they said in the Money for Nothing song to me.
That guy lives in his grandma's house. He ain't fucking like, that's fucking, get a real job, you fucking loser. That's what they think.
Right.
And it's like they make it about stand up. They're like, you can't, because they're like, that ain't real.
Right.
But if you like write a book and get on TV and fucking are going around the country and all this stuff, then those exact same people, I feel like, almost have to like begrudgingly
and
admit,
it sucks
like,
because
I guess it is real. So I'm saying,
and they don't realize that one of those has to happen before the other happens.
I know, but they don't know anything about any of that.
I know.
I'm just saying, I could see. I know people who I feel like I could see feeling that way pre and post hit being very different in terms of how they looked at the whole scenario.
Whenever this comes out on Wednesday, at this point in the podcast, I guarantee you, my friend Sarah is going to be texting me going, who is that? Do I know him? Who is that? Do I know him? I fucking can't wait for that shit. But
it was me, Sarah.
Yeah, totally boned his aunt. By marriage, for the record. And,
but twice.
And
removed.
So you fucked his uncle's wife?
But
is that what you're saying?
Yes, but they were
like that's much better.
But they were divorced. They were divorced.
Well, then she ain't shit to him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like I fucked his mama's sister. I fucked a lady who used to be married to his uncle.
You know what I'm the same thing.
I agree with
No.
you, but I guess he still loved her or whatever.
Dude,
like maybe
if
it's
that
still weird when
counts-
your buddy does it, you know?
Here's one for you. If that counts, my brother killed his own uncle.
Yeah, that's different. I think
He used to be married to one of my
seems more
aunts.
permanent. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, like, he ain't shit. And
Yeah.
that lady ain't shit. Fuck
No,
your friend.
No.
I hope
No,
somebody
she's-
kills his uncle.
Oh God
Sounds
damn.
like I'm surprised his uncle didn't kill his uncle after Corey fucked his wife. Am I right?
Did she also fall off of a mountain?
No, that was back in that day though. I was on a fucking tear, son.
Dude,
Listen,
even my smile is crooked. Look at my cheeks.
if you
rolling
was-
up different.
There was a time when I was 19 to 24, if you were a 45 to 55-year-old woman with hip dysplasia, I fucked you. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it was.
That's a commercial you need to run. Right now. You may be entitled to compensation.
Yeah, they loved me, man. I don't know. It was wild. It was wild. It was a fucking wild time for, and I was drinking.
Yeah, you were
lot.
talking to them.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
I mean, you're also very lovable, but like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That particular demo,
Yeah.
I could imagine you crushing that.
I did, dude. I
You know,
crushed so hard. And again, it
it's-
wasn't like I went out of my way. I just was like,
You could have sold them on some kind of pyramid scheme, and instead you fucked them.
yeah.
Which I mean, you know, when you think about your hairline, was kind of a pyramid scheme.
The only pyramid scheme I know anything about is that goddamn game at Cracker Barrel, son. That's it.
You
Can't get
do
over
that?
Cracker Barrel having.
Am I good at that, Trey?
Yeah.
Vinyl.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not an ignoramus.
Are you good at it, Trey?
Huh?
Are you good at it?
I mean,
good
no,
at it.
I wouldn't say I'm good at it.
I can
I
get
mean,
it
I
to
just
two. I
I
can't
think
kinda
I've
remember
done it maybe
yeah.
once, but I definitely don't hit at it. No.
I can get it to
Yeah, I hit at
two.
it.
I don't believe you've only done it once, especially if you didn't hit at it.
Well, I mean,
no,
I don't.
Trey don't like Cracker Barrel. He don't
I
like
was
fucking
about to
Cracker
say- I
Barrel.
was about to say this would be the true
Oh, you mean one
controversy,
day.
but I don't really like Cracker
He
Barrel.
doesn't
that
like
much,
Cracker
so
Barrel.
I
I don't
haven't.
care for it.
I probably haven't.
Did you
fucked
just
with
say
it
you don't
more
like
than-
Cracker Barrel either, Drew?
I don't care for it, but it's different now because me and Andy went the other day.
What do you mean it's different now? Because they have booze?
Well, they got like vinyl. They're selling Prince records. They got essential
Yeah, but the
oils.
food's still the same.
Oh yeah, Waffle House.
Fucking love Cracker Barrel. I love Cracker Barrel so much.
It's like if Waffle House made you take your shoes off when you came in their house.
Yeah, hey, what you just said is fucking perfect. If I was an advertisement, I'd be like, "Get me more of that copy, son. You're on fire."
And I guess for me, I'm just like, nah, this ain't what this is. This is
For the
diner.
record, I like both of them, but dude, have you ever had Cracker Barrel's pancakes?
I don't know. I'm a biscuit
Oh.
gravy man or an egg man or both.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I will tell you this, and I know there's a lot of people listening to this. They're not going to like what's about to come out of my mouth. If the whole deal for you is biscuits and gravy, then I can definitely see Cracker Barrel not hitting for you, and I'm fine with you saying that because their biscuits and gravy, while
Not great.
fine,
Just
they're
fine.
not great at all. They're not great at all. I'll tell you that.
And that is what it is because that's how I feel about Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Is it's fine.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
because of
That's
what
how
you
I
get.
always
But
felt
I'm a
about it.
pancake guy, and they have the best pancakes in the whole world.
I'll say
And I'll-
this: if
yeah.
I'm with my parents and I got to eat at one of the places that they think's nice because they grew up poor and have only left the house twice since 1973, Cracker Barrel's at the top of my list because I do like if we're going for dinner, I do like their salads.
Their salads are great.
Their salads are better than Shoney's. Their salads are better than Ryan's. If you remember Ryan's, their salads are better than Golden Corral's.
Top tier chain restaurant aside from Cracker Barrel for me. If like someone was like, "Hey, look, man, you're gonna have to eat every time you go on the road now. You have to eat at a chain restaurant." It would to me. I think Longhorns is the best one.
I like Chili's. I like
I like
Longhorns.
Chili's.
Chili's
too.
is what's up.
I like Logan's.
Logan's is fine. Their bread, a lot of these
It's
places
fine.
are saved by the fact that they have really good bread and butter.
Also, I don't think
Yeah.
Logan's is everywhere. Does that matter?
Oh, yeah, it probably does.
We only
It probably-
dealing
it probably
with
has to
ones
be
that
everywhere.
are everywhere. Because
But
yeah,
Cracker Barrel,
I'd probably go Chili's, I guess.
Chili's, I mean, dude, their chips and salsa are like are hard to fuck with.
Those Southwestern egg rolls, dude.
They're
if
great.
They weren't so bad for you. I
Yeah.
would eat them every week.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Let me say for anybody listening, I realized that I tried to judge Cracker Barrel and then started talking about salads. This is not my area of expertise to be
Also,
criticizing.
I would like to let for everyone to know and to reiterate to you, the second you mentioned that about biscuits and gravy, I'll let you off the hook because that's fucking true. I'm judging it in terms of like, it means a lot to me because Cracker Barrel is where I've eaten every single Christmas Eve of my life with my dad and all of my uncles. That's where we eat before we go do all our Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge pancakes fan, which they have the best of. But like, yeah, if you take those two things away and you were like, and biscuits and gravy was my main go-to, I probably would be like, yeah, Cracker Barrel's fine. So like, I'm willing to admit that, dude, they're fucking unbelievable. If you don't believe me, ask Roy Wood Jr. We've talked at length about them. They're just kind of crispy on the top. You know what I mean? Woo! God, they're fucking great. Cracker
Maybe
Barrel,
we'll go to
get
Cracker
at me.
Barrel Sunday.
Pay me.
Yeah, he's not a Cracker Barrel. He's a Cracker Barrel.
Mm. Well, guys, I guess I'll fucking see you at Zany's, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Sing
I love
the
you.
song.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED show. We love to stick around. Fuck it, for the past like 5 weeks, you couldn't be in more of a hurry for me to fucking sing this song and us leave.
Well, we were. I was mad about something. Now it's just. Yeah, let's just go.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. And tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew. Bye, Drew.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Don't hit. Bye.
The liberal rednecks, they like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much, but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.